This is the Normatec Elite, the latest and most advanced compression boots put out by Hyperice. I've been testing them out over the past several weeks, comparing them also to the previous version, the Normatec 3, and they've made just a few improvements, but the improvements they have made here are very big. Now let's get into it. And if you appreciate reviews to get right to the point without wasting your time, or are just a big fan of learning about fitness tech like this, make sure to subscribe to Connect the Watts. Okay, so first off, let's talk about what the Normatec compression boots actually do. Now you've probably seen these before with athletes using them or at sporting events. So basically what you do is you zip them up onto your legs, turn it on, and you get a full-on compression massage, which can be very useful in eliminating soreness and helping recovery. And what is most different and improved about the Normatec Elite compared to any other versions they've previously put out is not actually what's here, but what's not here, as they've eliminated the need to attach any hoses or a control unit. And while that may sound small, it's actually a huge improvement, because having to use hoses and this control unit, it makes this a lot harder to set up. And often what happens when people buy compression pants like these is they'll use them a bunch when they first get them, but over time they'll end up using them less and less, as it sometimes does feel like a lot of work to turn these on, get the hoses attached, attach the control unit, and then put it all away afterwards. But now that they've eliminated pretty much all of that, getting them set up or putting them away or traveling with them is much more friction-free and much easier to do, which means a lot more people, if you're anything like me, are gonna end up using the Normatec Elite a lot more often than otherwise. So now, instead of having a separate central control unit and hoses, you just slide on each of the legs separately, and each of them have an attached mini control unit right onto the boot itself. And these control units actually sync with one another, so you don't have to adjust both of them. You just adjust the settings on one and it'll sync with the other, and the timing of the compression boots will also sync with one another. Now on the control unit itself, you can adjust the level from 1 being the lowest compression to 7 being the highest compression. You can also adjust the time, so you can set it for like 30, 45 minutes or an hour and just forget about it, and then it'll turn off after that timer. And then here you can also control the zone boost. So the zone boost allows you to select a segment, either segment 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 1 being closer to your feet and 5 being closer to your hip. And when you select that for zone boost, the Normatec compression boots will actually spend more time in that boosted zone. So if you have a troublesome spot or something that you want to work on, you can just select it directly on there. And it works very well. And by having this control unit being able to control all of the things that you need, from level to time to the zone boost, you don't actually need to use the accompanying app that also can control these pants via Bluetooth. Now you can make some more specific tweaks via the app, but for the vast majority of people or athletes, you're going to be just fine not using it, because you can control pretty much everything that you need right on the control units of the pants. Now, the other big improvement over the previous iterations of the Normatec compression boots is, since the two compression boots aren't sharing one battery on a central unit, they each have their own battery, which means that the battery life of the Normatec Elite is 1 hour longer, so about 4 hours compared to the Normatec 3. And this 1 hour or 25% improvement, you know, it's a nice addition for somebody who uses these recreationally, like me at home. But if somebody is using these in a professional setting, like I said, at a sporting event, that extra hour is going to go a very long way. So very happy to see that they were able to extend the battery life on these. Now, each of the compression boots do need to be charged separately, but luckily the charger that they come with is able to charge both pants at once, so you don't have to, charge them one by one. So overall, if you already have like a pair of Normatec compression boots and you're wondering if you should upgrade, again, if you're using them recreationally like me, probably don't need to make the upgrade, although I will say I do think I'm going to end up using these just a lot more because of the easier and more quick setup. But if you use them professionally, or if you use them at sporting events, that extra hour, not having to carry around hoses or that extra control unit, that is going to be a huge plus for upgrading to these over the previous versions. And in those cases, if you have the cash to upgrade to them and you think you would benefit from those improvements, then I would highly recommend them. Let me know what you think about the new Normatec Elite in the comments below, if you've used compression boots like these before, or if you have a pair of your own. As always, this is Colin Jenkins with Connect the Watts. Appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next time.